Hello there everybody and welcome to the hunt! My name is Will and this is An Ecologist Plays, the channel where we learn more about nature by playing games, and we are hunting a very special pterosaur at the moment, which I have just seen somewhere up ahead. Now I've lost him twice while trying to get ready to record this episode, but there we go, just popped into view. That there is the, well, in the game here it is called Tapejara, but in actual fact it should be called Tupandactylus, meaning Tupan's finger, named after the Tupi thunder god from Brazil. Okay, so we're just going to chase him a little bit away. He is quite a nice level 40 I believe. They are quite skittish in the game here. We are of course back in Ark, and I'm just going to try to chase him a little bit more towards my base. And he's off. He is, well, he's gone. Okay, turning around again. Maybe I can scare him a little bit towards the base. I'll check in with you guys again in a moment. Alright, it seems unfortunately we have scared him away completely, so we are off to go hunt something else. So I'll check back with you again in a moment when we are in the redwoods. Now, Nic and I were planning to do a Smalland Survive the Wilds episode for today. Unfortunately, however, the microphones are acting up and we are battling a little bit with that. So hopefully we'll have it all sorted by next week and we'll be able to then record a Smalland Survive the Wilds video. For now, however, we are, of course, as you can see here, and as I said, back in Ark. And the creature we are looking for will need some chitin to tame. So we are going to have to go and kill something to get chitin, and we'll do so in a moment. Now, the creature we are looking for will be living up somewhere in the trees, and it is by many viewed as some missing link between dinosaurs and birds. However, it is not necessarily the link between these two groups. I'm just going to look around here in the redwood trees to see if I can find our little creature that we are after. I'll check back with you in a moment. Okay, so we have not found that little creature. However, we have found a whole rumpus happening over here. Oh, that T-Rex is going to see its butt now. Yeah, that T-Rex is dead. Oh, okay, look at that. We have got our Titanomyrma. Of course, the giant ants, and we have our chitin that we needed. Well, now, amazing how that works out. Anyway, our first T-Rex sighting didn't last long. That thing was really destroyed very, very quickly, and I've got a suspicion that Terror Bird over there is also going to try and attack everything around. Yeah, there we go, the forest racket. They do love attacking everything in the general vicinity. And in this case, yeah, it's not going to survive, it's gone. Okay. You do not mess with the Stegosaurus with the Thagomizers at the tips. As I've mentioned before, however, they should only have 4 spikes on their tails, not on their tail tips, not 6 as the game here has. Now I am currently, there we go, being chased by some very small little irritating little dinosaurs. Actually from South Africa, so from my home country. We've got 2 of them down there, known as Pegomastax. Now, the easiest way to tame them would actually be to have things like mejo berries or something in your last slot that they can come and steal from you, and then they will automatically be tamed. Now, we have 2 down there. I really don't want 2, so I'm going to try and kill the one, and then hopefully we can get the other one to come and steal from us. And if he does, hopefully then he will be tamed. There is one right over here. Let's have a look. Come on. Oh, no, he just wants to die. Okay, fine. Anyway, okay, maybe if I'm actually on foot, this little guy will come and try to steal the items in my last slot. And there we go. And we're going to call him willy-nilly because we just always tend to tame them willy-nilly. Okay, so this little guy, very, very interesting. Let's just make sure that we come a little bit closer to our Argentavis because this is a dangerous area. Oh, there is an Alpha Raptor over there. You know what? We are going to just quickly take you somewhere else, shall we? I am not very keen on being taken out by the Alpha Raptor over there. What level is that? A level 16. You know what? We do need to kill an Alpha Raptor at some point or another. We may as well take him while he is slightly distracted. And bombard him with our Argentavis. He's only a level 16, but in my experience, raptors can do a lot of damage if you are not prepared for them. Thankfully, we have got our Argentavis over here, Flame Crest, which is, well, there we go, has done a marvelous job. Now, anyway, let me just go find a safe spot to quickly talk about Pegomastax, the thieving little dinosaur in the game here. Okay, we are perched on the beach here. I think we should be relatively safe. So let's just quickly have a look here at old Willy-nilly over here. Very weird little dinosaur. As I said, from South Africa. This is a very ancient one. I believe it's from the Triassic, if I'm not mistaken. So, not sure exactly whether it really looked like this. There's only a partial fragment of the skull that this species is based on. That thing had this very weird mouth structure. Similar to, as you can see here, as where the tip of the pike is, over there, weird caniniform teeth. Similar to canines, basically. But this was not a predator. This was a herbivore, most likely feeding on, well, not fruits, because fruits had not evolved yet in the Triassic. They only popped up in the late Jurassic, I believe. So, lot later, the fruits really started popping up, but they were feeding most likely on things like cycad cones and the seeds inside there, which were very fruit-like and berry-like, and then of course harder seeds to actually crack open with their mouths. Let's just double check that there's nothing attacking us yet. Nope, doesn't look like it. Great. Now yes, massive poop over there. Thank you for that. Now the quills on the back here, there's no evidence to suggest they actually had those, but it is a nice addition, and it does give this buck-toothed dinosaur a very, very weird appearance. So we are going to put old Turkey Neck over here into our cryopod and then take him home with us. Now, still no sign of the creature that we really came here for. Hopefully we're going to see one soon enough. If we do not, however, I do have one back at the base, which I managed to, well, snag at some point when I was in this general vicinity. So we'll have a look. I'll continue looking for a little bit, and if there is still no sign of one up here, we are going to just quickly go back to our base to go have a look at that mystery creature. Like another Calicotherium. Yeah, so we had a look. We have caught some Calicotherium before. We caught one at least. There's a whole bunch of them in this general area. That's quite cool. I really do love them. They are such weird creatures. Unfortunately, we were not able to get the creature I was hoping to get over here in the redwoods. So we are just going to quickly go back home, and I'll see you there again in a moment. Ooh, I found one. I found one. I found what I was looking for. It's flitting around in the trees over here. We just come back here. There it is. Look at that. There we go. Gripping onto the tree. Ah, there we go. Archaeopteryx. The ancient wing. And it is flitting around from tree to tree. Now the thing is, we need to make sure that it's safe. Level 20, that's alright. Let's just check here. Oh, of course there are some terror birds. Let's just try to get them and the Perlovia all in one go. Let's just clear this area. Get it safe enough for me to actually land. And of course now I've lost the Archaeopteryx again. Now it was flitting from tree to tree, which is what you would expect from this creature in this game at least, but not in real life? There it is, there it is. Oh, it's so close to the ground. Got it. Okay, it is up in the tree there. And here it comes. Whee! Clunk! Down to the ground. Okay. Now, let's just try to protect it, while we at the same time get some chitin for it. Should be quite a quick tame. A level 48. Ooh, that's a very nice... Oh, wow. That is a very quick tame. We are going to call it Urvogel, which is the German name for this species, or the original German common name for it. Let's just kill this Dilophosaurus, because it is going to mess with our Archaeopteryx. And we are going to take willy-nilly. No, we are actually going to take another Pegomastax that I happen to have here. This one I accidentally tamed as well, as is always the case. And we're going to just pop the Archaeopteryx in here, and we'll talk about it back at base. And we are going to leave this little one to fend for itself. Okay, do not ask me where this one came from or how it got to me, but yeah, we have a Pteranodon flying after us, a level 147, and I have not taken any one of mine out. I do not know how long this Pteranodon has been following me. I do not know where I got him, but there is a Pteranodon without a name that is flying after us, so yeah. Interesting. Probably brought it along at some point in the past, and then it just got stuck in the trees, and as I was flying through now, I happened upon it again. We're almost back at the base. We're just taking a quick fly around to see whether the Tupandactylus or the Tapejara is actually back here at our base, but it does not seem to be the case. So unfortunately, we will have to look for another one to tame at some point. I have, however, decided what I'm going to name that Pteranodon that is flying behind us, and that one is going to be called Spectre, because it is a bit of a spectre. It just kind of popped up, and then, you know, who knows where it came from, who knows where it went, where did it come from, where did it go, I don't know, but it is Spectre. Anyway. Urvogel. So, in Afrikaans, it would also be called Urvoel, which means the same as Urvogel in German. And it just translates to ancient bird, or first bird, basically. So, the ancestor to birds, which to some extent it may be. We do not, however, know whether this is actually the link between the dinosaurs and the birds, or whether there was perhaps some other links that happened there. Anyway, regardless, it has got some characteristics of dinosaurs, like the teeth over here. I mean, last time I looked inside the mouth of a bird, there were no teeth there, but Archaeopteryx here had teeth. And then, of course, it has got feathers, very similar to birds. However, it's slightly different structure. This was really still very primitive feathers, but they filled the same niche. I like the fact that the feathers over here in the face, it's actually extending quite far up. It's not just a lizard face stuffed on top of a bird, as some other depictions are. I want to see what the toes actually look like. Oh, okay. Unfortunately, they had the one toe at the back there, you know, facing back, where in actual fact, with the Archaeopteryx, all four toes were pointing forward. There was not one pointing towards the back there. It's wearing some nice pants over here. The feathers on the legs extending down to, well, would technically be the foot, or the start of the foot. The heel would be over there. The knee of the bird would actually be up here, under the wing here. The coloration, there's a reason I chose this one. Not the bright pink, but the darker color for the majority of the body here. Archaeopteryx, or at least some of the feathers that they have found and scanned with a very, very fancy electron microscopes looking for melanosomes, which are the melanin or the black pigment production parts of the cell, or organelles of the cells. they were looking at those and they found that the feathers, at least the feathers that they have analyzed, were most likely black in color. And so that's why I kind of chose this one over here. Now, the function of that black color, we're not 100% sure yet. It could have been, and this is probably the most likely explanation, it could have provided the feathers with more strength, actually giving them the ability to withstand the first powered flight. And Archaeopteryx was most likely able to fly. We can actually bring him out again. Now, this bird is more or less the right size. Let's actually have a look here. If we look at it, yeah, it may actually be a little bit bigger than it actually was. They were about the size of a raven. This is one very big raven. Okay, so it's a little bit too big. They were about the size of a raven, weighed about 1 kilogram, so very lightweight. Now, there have been many debates about whether this organism could fly or not, whether it was just gliding. And in actual fact, if we actually throw off our skeletina over here, and we actually take our Archaeopteryx, you can see from the weird shadow over there that there is something weird happening. And that is that we are walking around, waddling around with the Archaeopteryx, holding it. Now, this is a basic parachute where you can actually take it and jump and flap a little bit. This is the closest we can get in the base game to flying. Now, of course, if we can find a higher spot, let's run up the ramp here. We're not very good at changing direction here. But if we actually just go whee, we can to some extent fly. Now, of course, the Archaeopteryx would definitely not be able to carry a fully grown man's weight. And they were most likely very poor flyers at that. They could have, and there is some recent developments showing that they most likely could fly, and not just gliding as people initially thought. Initially it was thought they would just kind of glide. But yeah, they most likely would have flown. Not in the same way as they are flapping their wings like this one over here. Not the same way as true birds would. Their structure, their body structure would not allow that powered flight there. They also, and I like the fact that it's shown here, they wouldn't have had a pronounced breastbone to which the flight muscles could actually attach. And birds nowadays have got a very pronounced breastbone, and you can see that in the bird skeletons quite nicely. But the Archaeopteryx over here did not have that. So they were most likely very, very poor flyers. And they were actually living in a relatively sparse, dry environment. They were in Europe. The first fossils were found in Germany. Now, of course, we've got to go and find a way down. And I don't actually know how to get down with this thing. We're just going to kind of fly forward. But anyway, they come from Germany, and they were found in Germany, the first ones. And Germany at the time when they were alive, which was about 151 to 150 million years ago, was a very dry environment. It was an archipelago, a whole bunch of islands, but very, very dry. And most likely, this thing was not climbing around in big trees trying to get to insects. Most likely, it was scurrying around on the ground in an almost desert-like environment. Oh, that is a beautiful Triceratops. Beautiful. Anyway, it was most likely scurrying around in the arid scrublands trying to catch insects with their very nice toothy mouths that we can see over there. Here, as we take one last leap of faith and fly around with our Archaeopteryx Urvogel friend over here, this is where we are going to call it a day, everybody. So thank you very much for joining me on this little adventure. We've got to go back now. Of course, I will be streaming tomorrow again. We will be playing Planet Zoo again, trying to continue building our zoo. And then hopefully Nic and I will be back by Tuesday to have a bit of a Smalland Survive the Wilds episode. Ooh, and there we go. Almost hit the building over there. And then, of course, next week, Friday, I should then again be back with another Ark Survival Evolved episode. So until, well, tomorrow and next week, everybody, stay safe. I will see you all soon. Bye.